ask this very fundamental question: is Kenya a state or a country? This is a very difficult question, but as a person of a history background, I will want to try and give my opinion on the same. Is Kenya a country or a nation? What is a country? A country is defined by, let's call it a successful story. Unlike a nation, which is just, I can call it a narrative, if you allow me, a narration of a story. Now, Kenya, unfortunately, is not a country, or has not become a country. If you ask me, I can justify. Kenya is a nation. Kenya is a story. Kenya is a story scripted by Europeans. Unfortunately, some of the people who actually drew Kenya never stepped in this country. They lived and probably died in Europe. And we keep asking ourselves, where is our problem as a country? You see, a nation probably has been redefined by the stories of the legends like Luanda Magere, the great Gor Mahia, Syokimau, Sakawa, Lenana, and such stories. That is the accident of being a nation and not a country. And now Kenya is defined by nations: the Kikuyu nation, the Maasai nation, the Luya nation, the Luo nation. Now trying to put these groups together into one country, that is where the problem of our current country became or has been. Now, this morning I've just been reading about what is a nation and what is a country. And the examples I'm getting, a country is an example of the United States. And a country is an example of the European colonized countries like Uganda. Nations like Uganda, Kenya, and many more. So, when we are in a nation, memorizing the colonizers' MacBook, so to say, doing the things the way the colonizers used to do it. There's no difference if you see the way the police are treating their people and in the way the colonizers were handling their people. The government imposing housing levy, which is a great idea for addressing the issue of housing in Kenya particularly. But if you ask me, we had a colony government that was introducing hard tax. You pay a tax for you to own your own hut or house, so to say. So what is the difference between the two? So until our country becomes, I say our country because I'm patriotic enough to say our country, but until our nation becomes a country, that is when the tribal nationhoods will come to an end. Because a tribal king will emerge from nation A, and because nation A has more people and nation B has more people, they will end up in government. And when they end up in government, these are people you never knew about, the imposters, parading themselves as leaders in good European suits without any history of leadership, without any background check on these people, on their merits, and so on. And then we end up complaining as a people, complaining a lot as a people, and probably asking, how did we get here? How did we get here? But we went to the ballot box, we voted for these people, and we end up complaining, how did we get here? We are partners of this mess that we are as a country. And then when we realize that we're in a mess, we come out and say, oh, we were in a mess. But we are the same people who brought these people to power and so on and so forth. So until then, we can become a country and we can move forward as we are supposed to be. But it's no surprise that as a nation, we are not saying, we are not able to move forward. We are very able. We are very able. We are a chosen generation and people that can change this country. But we must change the narrative of majority of numbers to probably majority of rights and apply meritocracy as probably a way to change the narrative in this country. And that can only happen if we engage our brains when we are voting. Do not vote a person for the handouts. And then when this person comes and steals from you, you start wondering what is happening to the cost of living, what is happening to the cost of school fees. It is because of the vote, it's because of the trust you gave this kind of person. So my urge is, we must at all costs try as much as we can and make a change and make an impact and participate. It is worrying that around 8 million people didn't vote in 2022. And you wonder why and where were they? Because they don't want to participate, but they want somebody to carry their burden. So it's a wake-up call that we need as a country to become a country and not to stay, not to stop, not to be a nation all through.